work, but I want to listen to my guys. You're sitting in the car. No. Just click more on the lower right-hand corner of the ESPN app on your phone. Scroll down to live radio, pop your AirPods in, your earbuds, whatever you got, your headphones. Walk right into work like you're listening to music, but you're really ignoring everyone listening to sports. You can tune into NBA action tonight as the Clippers host the Warriors, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on select ESPN radio stations.
Chef Curry, this ain't 2014.
The Clippers ain't the team in L.A. that matters, Max. Let's get to it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's get to it,
Are
Max.
the Lakers are the Lakers, man, Jay, a threat? Are they becoming an actual threat? Why don't you start with
the Laker fan? Let CC give me his opinion on this one.
Okay, but before we do, Scott in Denver has something to say. Go ahead, Scott.
Scott, you there?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Listening to your show every day, and so I just want to talk about Jay's list. Pretty much agree with all of them. But didn't Joker finish didn't they finish 5th last year or so, 6th even, and he still won the MVP?
Yep.
Well, they're not applying Jay's criteria.
Well, also, but just in response to that, very quickly, they did, but most of their team was out. So how you carry your team when teammates are out, that's one of my criteria as well.
See, what's interesting is the criteria, none of it, if you don't hit one of these, is disqualifying. Jay's point is they're just all being considered. So you can be the 6th, you can finish 6th and still win MVP, but it doesn't help you, right? So you're considering all the criteria. I like that, yeah. So I'm sorry, Chris Canty, go ahead. Are the Lakers an
No, I mean, we're talking about my Lakers and them not only treading water, but being a team that can do some damage early on in the playoffs. I mean, when you start looking at the top 3 seeds, I don't know that the Lakers should be afraid of any of them. Are they really afraid of the Denver Nuggets? Should they be afraid of the Grizzlies? We don't know what's going on with Ja Morant. Should they be afraid of the Sacramento Kings, who just got here? I don't know. I mean, if you get the version of Anthony Davis that you saw last night, and LeBron James, based on his Instagram, gets back sooner rather than later, I don't know. You got to feel good about the Lakers' prospects of not only getting into the playoffs, but potentially going on a playoff run.
So what does a playoff run mean?
I have to do this. Can the camera be put on me, please? I'm calling a single shot here. Please.
Jay's calling his own shot.
I am sorry, Laker fans.
Come on,
I am sorry, Rob Pelinka. I miscalculated you. You have done a hell of a job with this roster. I didn't believe you could make it happen, but the additions of D'Lo and other aspects have transformed this team. And what I'm willing to say now, understanding where the Western Conference is, Chris Canty, you said it properly. Ja Morant may not come back for the rest of the season. Sacramento Kings don't have the playoff experience. When you start looking at Kevin Durant missing multiple weeks here, is he going to parachute right back in? And his team going to hit the ground running? If the Lakers are able to find a way to that 7th, 8th seed, you're telling me if they're matched up against the Memphis Grizzlies with what you saw, with how LeBron is looking at it, the Lakers, if LeBron hits his stride, they might find themselves in the Western Conference Finals.
It's not impossible.
It's not. I can't believe I'm saying it.
It comes down to when LeBron heard the pop in his foot. And
it's crazy.
They're beating us in the head with this. Oh, he'll be back. If he actually comes back and plays at a high level, then it can happen. For sure.
Yes.
Well, Max, listen. I hear what you're saying about beating it over the head, but LeBron James is putting it out there on his social media. I mean, are we not supposed to take that as something?
He's
when
trying.
LeBron is got the picture out there on his Instagram. I mean,
it's with
the guy is suggesting that he's Wolverine.
He's trying to come back.
The Top Gun mask on, breathing underwater.
That's what I'm saying.
Being
so I mean,
resuscitated.
like if LeBron is trying to get back, especially because he sees what's happening with this team and they finally got shooters around him, then why can't the Lakers go on a run? I guess that's the better question. Because when I watched the game last night against the Pelicans, it was clear Anthony Davis was going to set a tone. And there's no doubt that he should have that mentality after a disappointing home loss to the New York Knicks. But, I mean, the fact that he was able to start the game and score the first 6 points, the old-fashioned three-point play, then the corner three, and then that led to the Lakers starting on a 14-0 run. I mean, yeah, this is a team that if LeBron James joins them, they have all the requisite pieces to complement what he does best. They had 15 3-point makes in the first half of that game.
There you go.
Jay, you know this better than anybody.
Shooting.
What do you have to have around LeBron James in order for him to be best version of himself? You got to have shooters, and they got that. They got more defensive versatility with Vanderbilt and Beasley and Hachimura. This is a team that can match up against some of those teams at the top of the Western Conference. And with LeBron James and Anthony Davis championship pedigree, who's to say that they can't find themselves going on a deep playoff run and potentially in the Western Conference Finals?
By the way, they've never been disqualified from that. Even before the moves, you can't ever count a team with LeBron James and AD, if they're both on the floor together, out.
No, I would have discounted them.
Well, because they didn't have the shooting.
Yeah.
But even then, like on a run, no. But could they have gotten out of the play-in and maybe knocked off a team?
No, not with Russell Westbrook on that squad. Not with the
Maybe
personality.
not.
Maybe
not
a believer.
Maybe not with Westbrook, as it turned out.
And Russ played well. He came off the bench and did what he did.
AD has been carrying the team since LeBron went down. And then when he had one bad game, he called himself out. And then he came back and had another big game.
AD,
in the old days, by the way, we called it 3. The Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
As number 3?
As 2. And 3, so like, because he's on the left. And to the right of him, in third place, is Jokic.
So wait, how'd your first order go in the top
number? So 3 was first Tatum, then Lillard, then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, okay?
So Tatum would be 4, right?
Tatum would be 4. Yep.
Okay.
In tier 2,
you would do it this way. You wouldn't go like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I want to
you go 4, 5, 6, and here's 2 and 3.
That's
Who
right.
doesn't list
that way? You're listing. I understand what you mean, but because if you see it visually, you're going left to right.
Yes,
anyway,
okay, I got it.
Then it's Giannis and Jokic in tier 2.
Giannis 2. And then
Jokic 3.
Okay.
And in tier 1, Joel Embiid. And let me say something about that real quick. Jay, Chris, on this show, it's so annoying because we got 2 guys from Philly in the control room, Alan Yates and Pat Costello. And every time this comes up, all you hear is propaganda for Embiid and against that. But I gotta be honest about this. Early on, you could have easily given it to Jokic, whatever. But to me, guys, this is like a fight where it's close and competitive, but decisive, right? I do not see an objective argument to give this thing to Jokic at this moment. Not anymore. I think you can make a better one for Giannis, but I think it is decisive, though close, that Embiid at this moment is the MVP.
Has it been because of this recent stretch you've seen by the Denver Nuggets? I mean, obviously giving up 47 points in the first quarter to turn around the Raptors last night.
Was 49, right?
49. Was it 47, 49?
Jokic's defense. He doesn't play a guy like Steph Curry's not a good defender because he's small, but he's present.
Tell me specifically about defense. Like when you watch it, like what is it about his defense?
It's what I grew up watching Clyde Frazier call Knicks and listening to Clyde Frazier call Knicks games. That's matador defense, right? You just go right ahead. That's the type of defense.
Not really.
Yes, Jay.
It's not great, but it's not matador defense.
It is matador.
It's not as good as Giannis or Joel Embiid, but it's not.
Not at all.
Nah.
Yeah, I didn't say it was.
Jokic a pass. Did you see the whole game last night against the Raptors?
I watched a lot of it, yeah.
I mean, Scotty Barnes was coming down on a break in the third quarter, and Jokic just stood there. Mm-hmm. Scotty Barnes with a Euro step and a layup. He just stood there.
Yeah,
or how about being bullied by Scotty Barnes in the first quarter on an offensive rebound, and he just dunked it on Jokic. Jokic didn't even jump. Listen, man.
This is happening
defensive
every
box
night.
plus minus has to be one of the most misleading stats when it comes to a player's
Wait, what
impact
is
on the
Chris?
defensive end.
What is?
Defensive box plus minus.
Yes, I agree.
Jokic
It's not.
I'm with you on that.
Breaks top. He leads the league in that. But this guy is a liability on the defense. And you know how I know? It's because teams actively seek him out in the half-court offense when they're trying to attack the rim. They actively try to put Jokic in the action to exploit,
of course,
his lack of defensive prowess. And we saw that going back to the playoffs last year against the Golden State Warriors.
And that's too
Guys,
much.
He's a liability on the defense.
No,
I understand. I agree.
It goes beyond just being a net neutral on defense.
He's
a liability on defense.
Real quick,
Chris, I totally agree.
I am with everybody on this. I mean, I do not have him as my front runner right now, but I will say we did watch James Harden win an MVP. And James Harden